Hey, it's Friday with DJ, and DJ, you have another distinguished guest. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I like to show this one off because he knows people. Oh, this is a longtime friend. This is King Hill. He's an author, he's an educator, he's a dancer.
Hey,
Not so
Oh,
much anymore, but he has it in his background. And uh, when he was working on his first book, that's what I called it. I said, "This is your first book." Well, he's got the second one out, and I just happened to turn back on the TV this morning, and he was on the chat with our friend David Lovejoy.
hey, all right.
Yeah, and it was just the neatest thing. And I thought, oh man, we need to get him on our show and talk about what he's doing now. And then we had the opportunity to get him on sooner. So anyway, this is my dear friend Brant Fricker, and this is my dear friend King Hill.
What a
Ta-da!
great name. I mean, hey, King of the Hill. You did better than I did. I got Fricker, but
well, when I, when I was a school teacher, I caught no end of jokes about King Hill, King of the Hill.
wow, excellent. Um, Tell us about your book. I'm excited to hear about that.
Well, briefly, the title is Under Patchouli Skies, like the incense patchouli, and it reflects the time of the book. It happened in 1970. Yes, it's very autobiographical by nature. It's a sequel to the first book, which is titled The Butterfly Decision. And the publisher said, we want to know what happened to your main character, the protagonist. What happened? And I said, well, he is me. And he ended up going to college and being a disc jockey, and in the 1970s, becoming what they called a god on the FM radio.
Wow.
And this is about that time period, the turbulent, exciting 1970s, all that was going on, Kent State, hippies, great music, and the lifestyle. And so that's what the book is about. If people want to know what happened in the 70s, this will give them a good taste of it.
Well,
Wow.
even if they lived in the 70s, they might not remember.
Well, yeah, I was about to say that the book may help them actually remember what they missed while they were in the 70s.
Well, it was an exciting time to live. And, thematically, this book deals with a theme that I kind of carry forth a lot, and that is finding your passion in life, finding your purpose, and finding how you can contribute. And so it takes a character through love, loss, redemption, uh, exciting times.
Now, this may be a challenging question there, Author Hill, but if you could sum up the 70s in a sentence or what you took away from it, what would you say? How would you describe that?
I would use that song that says, live for today,
Uh-huh.
live in the moment, experience everything.
Wow. We're seeing a resurgence of fashion. I mean, I remember people saying, man, they'll never wear 80s clothes again. Because that was my time, 80s, and I love the 70s too, but oh my gosh, you're seeing it everywhere. Everything's cyclical, but I have to say, in my personal opinion, the best music, 60s, 70s, 80s, in my opinion. I mean, after that, it seemed like we just kept repeating, but I may be wrong. Who is your favorite band in the 70s there, Mr. King?
Oh my goodness, there's a lot. Joni Mitchell,
Oh,
the
yeah.
famous singer who's recently been honored so much. Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, Iron Butterfly. Okay, a big one that plays a group that plays big in the book is Jefferson Airplane,
Oh, yeah.
and the song White Rabbit.
Oh, my gosh. No kidding. That
Uh,
song can encapsulate the whole 70s, can it? In
Pretty
the
much.
late
Uh,
60s. Okay, so Butterfly, there's a rumor that he wasn't saying Inagata Davida, he was saying in the Garden of Eden, but he was so stoned that it came out Inagata Davida. What do you think the truth is?
that is exactly the truth. It's not a rumor. It's not a rumor. That's what happened. It wasn't in the Garden of Eden. I had the pleasure of interviewing a lot of people when I worked in radio. One of them was Don McLean, who wrote American Pie.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
So in the interview, I went verse by verse on my conjecture, and he confirmed, you know, that was right on. To use a pun, that was a big phrase in the
That was
70s.
right on, man. Groovy.
And oh yeah, so there was a lot of things that happened in the 70s, and being involved in radio at that time was quite the adventure because radio disc jockeys at that time had a really direct relationship with their listeners.
Right.
Mhm.
And they're
And
artists too. I mean, lot of the artists would always, tour their albums, and some are better than others, but
you,
yeah.
I would say you've already read the book because a big part of it takes place at a fictional record convention where the honoree is this young college boy who's a hit as a disc jockey, and what takes place at the convention, how that impacts his life with his girlfriend, how it impacts his life with other characters. And I've carried over characters from the first book, like my Irish grandfather, and so he plays a
There
big
you
part
go.
in this book.
Hmm. That's neat.
Wow.
Well,
Uh,
I'd also like you to know that Brant is also an author. I am too, but both of you are producing, and Brant's also a musician. He's now
yeah,
right
I'm
prodigy, just like you are.
his work, and I'm honored to be talking to him.
Well,
Yeah.
hey, I'm honored that you're honored, and I am honored to meet you. I have a lot of
We have
fond memories of the '70s. My dad would always, he played the best music all the time. Eagles, Beatles, Elton John, Billy Joel. I don't know if Bob Seger was quite in the '70s. Bob may have came along in the '80s, but of course, my brother liked AC/DC and Black Sabbath, and Ted Nugent.
Oh
Ted Nugent definitely was starting in the '70s, and I got to interview Ted recently. And now his family is they're dear people to me, but all that to say is what a defining decade, especially transitioning from the '70s to the '80s. So much diverse music. I mean, you had Journey, you had Still the Eagles, and Casey and the Sunshine Band, and the Bee
yeah.
Gees, and
I'll
oh my gosh.
I want to take I'll take a different tact. This book involves some theology,
Uh-huh.
and I was privileged to work with a rabbi, a Hebrew rabbi, by correspondence and Zoom out of Los Angeles. And
Wow.
I'm not of the Hebrew faith, but some of the major characters in this book are, and so I got to have a professional rabbi make sure that everything I said, no pun intended, was kosher. And so there's a lot of biblical references, theological references, things that relate to the character and what happened to him. And I believe you and I have a mutual friend in common, Rick Treon.
I haven't met Rick yet. I don't think
Oh,
so.
I thought maybe you were friends. But anyway, back to the book. Yeah, it has music, it has love, it has amorous adventures. I'll put it that way. It has drama, it has conflict. That 1970 was the year that Kent State happened. And
Yeah.
in this book, the character experiences a real life confrontation with local authorities, powers that be, and he becomes a champion on the radio,
Wow.
championing the cause of young people, of which he is
Wow.
one of.
Well, how can people get a hold of this book? I mean, the book actually sounds like a screenplay as well.
Well, you're very kind. It's available through order on Amazon. Also, I'm doing a book signing at Aunt Eek's bookstore on 6th Street on Sunday, April the 23rd from 1 to 3. And
So cool.
yeah, I'd invite everybody to come by. In fact, anybody who comes by, whether they get a book or not, I have ordered a lot of buttons from the 70s, with peace, love, right out, right arm, left arm.
Right.
all the jokes of the day, and we'll be happy to hand everybody a free hippie button they can wear. That's April 23rd, 1 to 3, Aunt Eek's Bookstore there on 6th Street.
That's fantastic. DJ, what cool friends you have. And now King Hill, you're my friend too. And I'm
Well,
excited to learn more about you and
I,
hear your
I
stories.
thank you. And I don't want to be self-promotional, but I'll share a secret with you guys. It will no longer be a secret. A year ago, I did a reprise of my Alamo show at the Globe News Center with the Window on a Wider World program, Lone Star Ballet. Well, I've been commissioned to do a new show on Chief Quanah Parker, the Comanche chief, that will take place the end of January and early February. It'll be for public schools as well as public performances, and that'll take place through Lone Star Ballet Productions.
Mhm.
Fantastic. And when you say do a show, are you directing? Are you acting? All the above? What?
I'm writing it and co-directing it with Roxanne Seaton from Lone Star Ballet, but it will have narration, it'll have dance, it'll have music, it'll have a lot of the elements like we did with the Remember the Alamo show we did for students, and it's written to fit the curriculum for Texas history, just like I did with the Alamo show. So it's written specifically to help students understand what happened. And DJ can share with you at some point, my family was very close. We're adopted Comanches. My father was the one who did all the bronze statues of Chief Quanah Parker. I knew Quanah's eldest son growing up, Baldwin Parker. I knew two of Quanah's daughters, Alice Parker Prudy and Miss Birdsong. They'd come to our home and stay. We'd go to Oklahoma and stay in their home.
Wow.
So I'm bringing a lot of background to the story, hopefully.
Wow. What a treat. Author King Hill. Thank you so much, DJ.
You're welcome, partner.
Thank both of you very, very, very much. Thank you, DJ. Thank you,
partner, too.
You're welcome, partner, too.
I just this was a God thing. It really was, and I just couldn't believe you were actually available so quickly. And also, I'm surprised you two don't know each other. I really am.
Well, we do now. We do now.
I look forward to meeting Mr. Brant.
So similar. Your fabric is so similar. You're both amazing, talented people. And the fact that I get to be in your circle is a total honor for me.
Well, I'm just grateful to you, DJ, as always. And I'm a great believer in God things. And I'm grateful to you, Mr. Brant.
Yes, sir.
And hope to meet you. Hope to meet you one day. Both of you, thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you. We'll see you next time, folks. You have captured beauty in the dust, Bob. How'd you do that?
Well, it just was, I was very fortunate to get out there, and we got a good windstorm that came in, and it's right before it got to where you could not see it at all. Zach and I, my youngest son is my second shooter, we're out there and we're shooting for this particular company, those the three rigs that are there, and as it started blowing in, you'll start seeing how that you wouldn't realize how much color is in the air on a sandstorm, but as the wind is hitting the locations, you can see where the cliche is starting to blow up in the air. So you've got that white that's in the air, and then we're in red dirt. And if you look around, it's just nothing but red dirt that's out there. So the sky is just red from all that dirt that's in there. And then as you go up further, you'll start seeing blue and how that mixes in. You get all the purples and just all the different colors. So it's because of the sand and all the craziness in the air.
Wow. Only Bob Calendar could bring the beauty out of a dust storm. Boy, if that didn't say West Texas, I don't know what does. Beautiful.
Thank you.